Hi, welcome back to Gallery C, located on historic Federal Hill. All this beautiful area here. You see the Holy Ghost Church all the way back there on the left, far, far away. And I want to bring you back to Gallery C's current exhibit, which is the 6th exhibit of 2019. This is the poster of the exhibit. The artist's name is STEPHAN, a very established artist, photographer, RISD alumni, and I want to show you some of his works that he's done, all silver gelatin fine art prints. Hi, now we're inside the gallery, Gallery C, our current exhibit, Rome 1970s. The artist is photographer STEPHAN. You see this little sign up here, BRIGIDI 1970s. This is one of his historic photographs and also one of most collectible photographs. Actually, a fellow artist that he photographed, and unfortunately, she committed suicide. It's a very sad story. The entire body of work is about 41 silver gelatin prints and some color prints. We have here a few more pieces of his work. Again, most of the work was shot with Hasselblad medium format camera. And this entire body of work is all hand printed by STEPHAN himself, who is an artist of late 70s, a RISD alumni. This is an incredible photograph. This is a photograph he did of a grandmother and two grandsons, and happened to be this lady. This is back in 1975, photographed in Rome, was in charge of making the connection with RISD and the Rome program. So students would go live there and study there abroad on a semester's break. One of his other winning shots, again, silver gelatin prints. Back in the 70s, Rome was going through lots of changes, a lot of good changes. BRIGIDI made frequent trips there, lived there, stayed there, and continuously photographed the street scenes as we see people roaming the streets, the ghettos, the poor people, the working people, executives, and people gathered in the street scenes. And all the prints are available for sale as we see, and they're framed nicely. He loves this kind of framing. He also published a book, his multiple books that he had published. This is, I believe, his 8th publication, called Rome 1970s. These particular few images here are also available as just silver gelatin 11 by 14 prints to purchase for $300, including a book, which is a great deal. And all the work will be online on our website at www.galleryzprof.com. As mentioned before, STEPHAN is a RISD alumni. He received his MFA in 1976 from Rhode Island School of Design. Some of his teachers were established, very well-known, published museum collections, artists such as Aaron Susskind, Harry Callahan, and STEPHAN himself is in over dozens and dozens of museum collections, a Fulbright scholar, an educator, a man of travels, a man of equipment, a man of knowledge. And all these, again, street scenes of his works are depicted. This is one of his also very established published works. All his entire body of work is contained in his new publication called Rome 1970s. He personally recently reprinted a lot of this works on silver gelatin print paper in the darkroom, the old school. And as we see, some of them are still life, some of them are just working people, some of them very spontaneous imagery, soldiers, lady sweeping the streets. Continuing our journey with BRIGIDI's works. As I mentioned before, he's published numerous books, and we have some of his books right here in our collection, including photographing people from Rhode Island, very remarkable people he called it, and he also did a collaboration with Robert Bly, and Malcolm Greer was the designer for this book called Angels of Pompeii. And after Afraid of the Dark was also another incredible body of work that he did in Venice, so Venetian story, what he calls it. This particular book, Portrait, depicts mostly women and other people in their portraits of body figures, including his wife actually, who's also a fellow photographer. Here's another book, one of his other publications. We're really proud to have him also. We see that image right there, beautiful, of a mime in Rome as a performer, street scene. Then we move on to his moments of, this is his most published actually photograph in Rome in 70s, Man on Stilts. That's actually the cover of the book of Rome 1970s. And coming down to more theater, into clowns, again, black and white, silver gelatin prints, lots of various performers, lots of street scenes, lots of graffiti on the walls documented, unbelievable. Documenting an era was his mission goal, which he did well. One of the items that we see in a lot of his photographs are in this back wall. It was a very active time back in the 70s. That image in the middle is unbelievable. It almost looks like a communist era, Marxist, leftist, unbelievable piece. And then we want to span over to the, right here to the left, graffiti, peeling paint, some political statements, all Italian, in Italian. And then we go to the religious figures and imagery, iconic pieces, and finally the market, the daily market scene. BRIGIDI also is a recipient of many, many awards, fellowships, grants. One of them, a big honor, is a National Endowment for the Arts, and also a recipient of a fellowship from Rhode Island State Council on the Arts. He's published all over. He's, as I mentioned before, he's in dozens of museum collections, including in our backyard right here in Rhode Island School of Design, and we're very honored to have that. The show exhibition, this body of work, is only the month of June 2019, and the reception and the book signing and book presentation is actually on Thursday on gallery night, third Thursday of every month. We have receptions, and Thursday the 20th of June from 5 to 9 p.m. And I want to just share with you with some of those more romantic imagery. I just love the fashion and the clothing and the angle, the height. Again, silver gelatin photographs. And then he also documented a lot of statuary, a lot of iconic pieces where he would do the street scene depicting the lines of laundry hanging all the way, people's lives, the old school, wonderful. And then some of the beautiful architecture in the Roman Empire there in Rome. And then again, some of the documents of the posters, street scenes. Stephen did also lots of works for the body form. And nudity is common in most photographers. They do that in their career. But what I love about being a fellow photographer, what I love about Stephen's works of his depiction of the human body, mostly women, but lots of male also, was the sets that he built or set his clients in. So they would just very much be confrontive of him, and in a beautiful set of designers. Of course, cigarette was a big ticket item for back in the 70s, 80s, and there's a lot of imagery with people, cigarettes in their hands. One of the other things he did with some of his still lifes, including some of the nudity, he used a lot of Oriental, Middle Eastern, European rugs as backdrops. And just to want to show you the book right here, if I can, down here in the 1970s Rome 1970s publication. It's an incredible book. It's a hardcover book and it's only $45. We're trying to support the arts and collectible coffee table piece and historical piece.
Ne ho visto un altro che più lacrime non ha. Nessun coltello mai ti può ferir di più di un grande amore che ti stringe il